Now, from today, this is the kickstart of a 21-day limited registration exercise in all 268 district offices and 700 difficult-to-access electoral areas, including 25 public universities. Now, the exercise kicks off amidst controversy over the auction of some obsolete BVDs and BVRs with Imani Africa. There's a lot to this, but let's focus for now on the process. Those who have just turned 18, the registration, where this is happening, and what to expect. Thankfully, we have joining the conversation the Director of Electoral Services with the Electoral Commission. I'm talking about Dr. Serebour Quaiku. He's been gracious enough to join us this morning. Doc? Okay. Adam, thanks for joining us. So here we are. Let's go right to it. It started today. It's going to last till the 27th, right?
Yes.
The 27th day, so which is a Monday.
Yes.
And that's it. But what can you walk us through as of today? What has started, where, and if there are any challenges as of now?
Okay. Thank you very much. My regards to your listeners. As you said, we are starting the registration today, so you have already started.
Right.
But it starts at 7 o'clock every day, including weekends, and it ends at 6 p.m. The reason why we start early at 7 is that some people may want to register before even they go to their workplaces. And we also close at 6, so that if you close work at 5, you have 1 hour to also go visit the place. If your schedule says that between 8 and 5 you can go, you have 1 hour before and 1 hour after to do that. Again, we are having it at, administratively, for a local government level, they have 261 offices or districts. But Electoral Commission operates 268 because we operate at the sub-metros too. So we are covering 268 our Electoral Commission's offices.
Right.
In addition to that, we have identified 785 difficult-to-access areas. And this one was selected by our district officers in consultation with the political parties and opinion leaders. So they brought the list and we reviewed the list and approved the 785 centers. In addition, we are covering the 25 public universities in the country. So if you add, I have not done the calculation, but you get it, 268 plus 785 plus 25. So these are the centers that we are registering people. Again, if you look at Article 42 of the Constitution, it says that every Ghanaian 18 years and above has the right to vote and as a result should be registered. And that is exactly what we are doing. But the question is, every Ghanaian, who is a Ghanaian? 18 years and above, how do we determine that? Right. That is why we are saying that by law, CR 91, as amended with by 126, it says that for you to prove that you are a Ghanaian and you are 18 years, you need to provide a passport or a Ghana card. If you don't have any of these two documents, then you need 2 registered voters who know you very well to vouch for you or to guarantee for you. And those guarantors too cannot guarantee for more than 10 voters.
Right.
So in short, this is what we are doing. I also want to add that there are people who have misplaced or have a spoiled ID card. They are not supposed to be registering now. Okay. We have people too who have...
So this limited registration is not for them?
Exactly so.
Okay.
And some people too are also saying that they have relocated. If you registered in, let's say, Kumasi and now you are now in Accra, you are not going to register again because we have only one voters register, and that register is for Ghana. So no matter where you registered, you are part of that register. So we have also set aside the 30th of May to the 14th of June to replace those whose cards have been destroyed or lost or whatever. And all those who have also relocated, we are giving them the 30th of May to the 14th of June to apply for transfer and also to apply for prosy. So they don't need to register again. If you have lost your card or you have relocated and you register, the system knows you. The system will quarantine you and add to the multiple list. In that case, you lose your vote. Because once you are put on the quarantine list for having engaged in multiple registration, you cannot even vote. So they should not attempt to do that.
So where you registered last year, that's where, and unless you've moved, then you have to make the necessary. And you know, when you were speaking, you just got me. I always carry my voter's ID. So I quickly looked at it. Has it been defaced? No. So
you don't need any replacement?
I am good to go. I don't need. But in terms of the time, I just want to confirm, are all these centers opening at exactly 7 o'clock?
Exactly. So that's what's supposed to be done.
Is that the report you are getting as of today? That all the centers?
Because I was moving to this place, I have not made a call, but they are all supposed to start at 7, and I believe they are ready to do so.
Some have asked the question, and you know, we've been out there. We have a segment, a show called Just Turned 18. We're interacting with young people, and some would even ask you, why should we register to vote and all of that? Why is it crucial for these ones just turning 18 to vote?
I don't know if you remember. I think 93 or so, Honorable Spio Gabriel was appointed or was nominated as minister. But because of not having registered, he was denying that opportunity. Again, if you are not a registered voter, there are a lot of positions that you cannot occupy. Again, when somebody you know, you may decide not to contest an election, but you may have a friend or relative who wants to contest, and that person may need your support to file the form or to fill the form. That one too will not be there. So you just get the card first. So they become a registered voter. And you should be patriotic to participate in elections. There's a saying that if the wise people decide not to vote, I'm sorry to use the word, the fools will vote for you. Because if there's only one person going to vote for presidential, I assume the whole Ghana, everybody decided that the person will not vote. The one person who vote for you, you become the president. Yeah. Because the law doesn't talk of what you need certain number of votes before you become the president. So that you
should cross 50%.
Exactly. So if there's one vote, that one vote is 100%. You have gotten it. Yeah. So if you
even if 3 people vote and 2 vote for you,
you have won.
Not 60 plus.
Exactly. So don't sit on the fence. You should be patriotic. You should be involved in the decision making. You need to also have your voice heard. And and you see, me, I always say that in life, I'm here to know. But one of the only thing that this does not discriminate is voting. Whether you are a billionaire, whether you are a professor, whether you are somebody who has not attended school or not, you all have one vote. So that is where we put everybody at par. So don't stay away from registering and voting. It is your fundamental human right, and you need to exercise it.
I just want a quick clarity on this, because there may be the tendency. You can't vouch for more than 10 people.
Yes.
Every election, we find elements trying to cut corners and all of that. Just spell out, what are the punitive measures for people who engage in such activities and other, infractions of the law?
Yeah. So this time the system has been built. Even the previous one, we have identified people who vouch for more than 10, and we are trying to isolate them and hand them over to the security services for prosecution. So if you are going to vouch for people, be sure that you don't vouch for more than 10 for this registration. If you vouch for people in 2020 and 2023, that's not what I'm talking of. For the 2024 election, don't vouch for more than 10. The system has it that once we finish the exercise, you can pull out the number of people each guaranteed for. And this time around, we can assure them that we will prosecute them.
All right. Someone just sent in a message asking, how about those who have relocated outside of Ghana? Are we going to have any, I mean, in the past, we've had all of this in terms of those outside the country and what measures could be brought to bear. What is going to happen this year? Do we have any plans for that?
For now, to the best of my knowledge, there's no provision for people outside the country.
All right. Let's also look at the numbers. How many are you hoping to register? I know that according to Jean Mensah, projections are to register 623,000 new registrants for the exercise to augment the 910,000 you already got from the new registration.
That is a 2020.
Exactly.
2023.
Yep.
Then you have 17 million today.
Right.
Yes.
So why this target? How did you come by this 623,000? How are you going to get there?
If you, from the statistical projection from the Ghana Statistical Service, they are saying that about 450,000 people turn 18 every year. So given that we compare the last register last year, then we have 1 year, that is 450,000. We also know that there are some people who have turned 18 but they did not register. So plus the matters will add the additional figures. But if you look at people who have turned 18 years for a particular year, it's supposed to be 450,000. So we don't project less than that. But we also know that there are some people who are above the age of 18 and they have also not registered. That's why we are projecting to go around 600 plus.
All right. There are some specific groups that need help. Persons with disabilities, our brothers and sisters. What are the plans for them in terms of this registration?
We engage them on Friday. We engage them on Friday. And as policy, they are not supposed to be queuing. We have to set up our centers in accessible place because of some of them being physically disabled. So, one, our centers are going to be accessible. Two, they are not supposed to be joining the queue. And three, when they go and they need any assistance, we will give them. The only challenge is with respect to those who need sign languages. It will be difficult for us to recruit people all over the place. But some of them, they will go and have their information written on a sheet of paper. Then we use that to register. I'm talking of the visually, not visually impaired, but hearing,
those with hearing
impairment, yes.
Impairment.
Yes, but anybody, and this time they have expanded it to about 12 different groups with albinism, psycho something, a lot of them. So when they go and they identify themselves, we'll give them the priorities that they need.
I see. I'll be coming to you shortly. We're crossing over to Kumasi now at the EC's regional office in Kumasi. Nana Boakye Adam joins the conversation. Nana Boakye, if you can hear me, what have you observed so far this morning? Did voting start at 7 or did actually registration? Yes. I'm in a hurry. Did registration start at 7 on the dot? What are the scenes in Kumasi currently?
Well, Benjamin, we are currently at the Ashanti Regional EC office. Will be hosting 4 different constituencies. We have Bansima and then the Israel right here, and then Menchia South and Menchia North over here. You can see that some fresh registrars are also coming in to participate in the voter registration exercise. Party agents are also seated here, monitoring and observing how the process is currently ongoing at the Ashanti Regional EC office. Let's get to one person who's now coming to register for the first time. It's the first time. This is the first time coming to do the registration. I've been encountered in the Are you a student? Okay, so you were given a chance to come and participate in this exercise. How do you feel? You are registered to participate in the election, I guess. But then, have you gone through the process? So, okay, how was the first stage? Okay. What was your name? Okay. And so, Benjamin, that is Kelvin. He's also coming to participate in the exercise for the very first time. Some of them are also seated here. I want to speak to this gentleman. I think he has also been through the first phase. So I want to join me shortly. You've been through the first phase of the exercise, right? How was it? It was good. Why did you decide to participate in the exercise? You really don't have any reason to. You just wanted to participate in the exercise. But then you've been to the first phase, right? Okay. And what are you waiting for? we have to wait for the second day idea. Right, thank you so much.
All right, so we apologize for the poor quality of sound there. We'll try to work on that and get back to Nabachi Adam in the Ashanti region, Kumasi to be specific, at that Electoral Commission regional office. But coming back to Dr. Sribo Okweku, the Director of Electoral Services at the EC, he's still in the studio. I was going to find out from you, I know that CODEO has observers, that they're observing this registration process and all of that, but are political parties allowed to also observe the registration? What are the processes? What can they do? What can they not do?
Thank you very much once again. Because of transparency of the system, we always want people, as many as they can, to apply for them to be accredited and for them to observe these exercises. As I said earlier, we met the political parties. So the political parties have been asked to send their agents to the centers. The political party agents are supposed to help us to clean the system. So that and they are living with the aspiring voters or the applicants in their communities. So when anybody appears there and the person is suspected to be a foreigner or underage, minor, they have to call our attention to that. They don't need to physically confront anybody or physically drag away anybody. So what they do, assuming you are the presiding officer, and somebody is, I will just come to you, that this person who is standing there, that he's a Ghanaian. I know him, and he's not a Ghanaian. Then you will ask the aspirant that this is what
so that individual can challenge this person.
Including any Ghanaian who qualifies to register as a voter.
Right.
So the agents are there specifically for that. But anybody, including you, if you happen to be there and somebody is there, you know the person. As I said, don't physically challenge the person. Right. Let the officer know. Then if the person insists that he's a Ghanaian or is above 18, that's what we call a challenge form. Okay. Then we will help you to fill. I'm using the word, we will help you in the sense that you may decide that you want to compete with yourself, or the officer will compete for you. And the process is that after the form had been completed, the one who is making the challenge, the challenger, and the person who has been challenged will appear before a committee, which is called District Registration Review Committee, DRRC. And they have the powers of the district court in their operations. So they will sit on such cases and they have the power to subpoena people to appear, to come and testify. They have that power. Right. But they don't have power to sentence. So their work is to establish whether you qualify or not, but they cannot sentence you to prison, whatever. But in gathering data, they can seek people's testimony, whatever, and that's all they can. So they will subpoena. And this committee is made up of the Electoral Commission officer there. He is a member secretary. Then we have district police commander, district director of education, a traditional ruler, and a representative from the political parties. They constitute the committee, and they will sit and adjudicate on that. The political parties are in, and you know there will be a reason that they have interest. Yeah. The district police commander is there because it's an issue bordering on law. The district director of education is there because most people might have gone to school before, or the person might have gone to school before. So if it becomes necessary that we need to go and pull the person's data from the school, the district director of education can easily do that for them. And the land belongs to the traditional owners. So all these people are members. And the Electoral Commission person is the secretary and member of the committee. So they will sit and give the education. And the law is that once they decide, Commission has 21 days to give effect to the decision. But it goes further to say that anybody who does not agree with the judgment can now escalate it to the High Court to...
How do you mean to avoid or avert some of those circumstances where maybe you have NDC and MPP and this one says, oh, the person is 18, that one says the person is not 18. What mechanisms beyond this, how do you resolve it? Are you speaking to the parties at IPAC to prevent those debates?
We've heard national APAC meeting.
Right.
We've had regional APAC meeting, and we've had district APAC meetings. All these things have been discussed and those things. So the parties know that they are not supposed to physically do this. So if you have any issue, go ahead.
Fill the form.
Exactly.
All right. Interesting question, though. Can anyone register, anywhere within the district?
Yes.
Apart from where specifically they
Yes.
Anywhere in the district?
Yes. Because the issue is that we are doing it at the district office.
Right.
So no matter where you are residing, you are coming to the district office to do. Then with respect to the mobile team, when the mobile team goes to a specific electoral area, there's a catchment area. So if the team is not within your electoral area, but you are within an electoral area nearby, you also have the right to go and register. But when we finish, we'll do exhibition where we will exhibit it at the various 40-something thousand polling stations. So 38,000 polling stations.
You mentioned difficult to reach areas, and I know usually some islands and others will also be in there. What is the approach to these areas? What are there are some pretty difficult to reach areas.
Yes, so
which ones are going to be your focus? You can just talk about a few of them.
Yeah, so as I said, we have 785 difficult to access areas. And these lists were compiled by our officers in the district in consultation with the political parties and other opinion leaders. So if I am a district officer for, let's say, Ajoso, I have been working there, I should know the terrain. So I should know areas where the applicant will find it difficult to come to the district offices. And so they compile those lists and we review them and approve for them. So what has been agreed upon is that I think the district with the highest is at 12. That's the Afram Prince North. So what it means is that they will have 12 electoral areas to visit. And they are supposed to spend 2 days in each of the electoral areas. Basically, the difficult to access areas don't normally have huge numbers of 18 years and above. So even 1 day should be enough for them. We said that 2 days for each of the 785 difficult to access areas. Then at the university, we have given them 3 days per university.
All right. What is the approach to SAL in all of this?
What approach to
SAL? Sandro Kofi, Akpafu, Lolobi, Likpe.
So now they are now treating them as one of our districts. It's part of a district now. So we don't have separate regulation for, it's now one district in Masai. So we don't have separate.
All of them are in one catchment area. Is that what you're saying?
So one will have the district office plus some of the difficult to access areas. I don't have the list here. But I know one is racing at its office because we have this office there now, plus some of the difficult to access areas.
Okay, so that matter is not going to pose any problems?
Not at all. They are being treated as any district in Ghana. So we don't have separate regulation for one. It's now a district itself. So when you say this applies to a district, they are part of it.
Anything else we should know about this current limited voter registration exercise? You've already mentioned that for those who have lost their cards, have defaced cards and the rest, it will start from the 30th of May to the 20th of June, right? But
no, for 14th of June. So 15 days.
30th of May to the 14th?
Yes.
14th of June?
Yes, that's 15 days.
All right, so that's 15 days. 30th May to 14th June.
Including those who have relocated.
Sure.
So the transfer is also there. Then Prozi, you're sitting here, maybe you may want to travel outside the country on the 7th of December. So you can also come to office within that period. The 30th May to 14th of June to also apply for Prozi. So you nominate, let's say me, who is a voter in your polling station to also vote for you. It could be your wife, it could be your friend, it could be the most important, the person should be a reserve voter in the same polling station with you.
All right. Let's now look at this issue of Imani Africa taking you on, taking you to Shroud.
I would wish that we would concentrate on the...
Well, I mean, we're still trying to get some of our reporters, our colleagues, to get us the feed. But while we do that, I just want to know what the thinking is on that. I've heard you address, in a way, the issue with the BVDs and BVRs and how they ended up. But you look at the timelines and all of that. Imani is questioning that, look, are some of these BVDs and BVRs not those procured in very recent years? And they want to take you to Shroud. What is the reaction of the EC when it comes to this? Because it's taxpayers' money, and everyone is concerned. And it's also about the information that may be on these devices and closure.
There's half of information, there's no information on them.
How can we guarantee that?
Oh, see, if you understand the system, we are talking of two IT products.
Right.
One is BVR. The BVR is like laptop linked to anything. And when you register the people, I will say they have what we call end of life. So when end of life means that you link into our system and every information is taken off. So every BVR after registration and after end of life operation, it becomes blank, back to default setting. So there's no data on that. Then with
it becomes blank automatically.
Yes, exactly, no data at all. At all.
You mean at the end of life, if you've not copied whatever data from there, everything is gone?
You will copy. That's what every BVR will be subjected to the end of life processes. And once you do that,
all right.
Yes, once you go to the end of life, that's what the word is, end of life processes. Mean that for the registration, it has finished its work. So it becomes blank, nothing in it. Then when we are talking of the BVD2, the BVD by themselves don't contain data. We have SD card that has been inserted in. Once you take off the SD card, it's also blank.
Okay.
And the SD card, as you know, they have the data contains what they call the QR code. So every time we are going to use the BVD, we generate the QR code. So if you were using the BVD for, let's say we use it for 2023, there were SD cards that were inserted in. Immediately within, they have been taken off. Now, if you're going to do it for 2024, you have to insert another SD card, which has also different data. And the QR code varies from date to date and the time that you use. So if you take any SD card now, assuming that even those who stole the SD card, stole the BVD, at that time the SD card were in. Now that SD card QR code is for that district level lesson.
Right.
So if you think you can use it for 2024, the QR code will not work.
So the QR code only operates at the district level for that election.
Exactly.
And so you will use a different SD card, different QR code in election 2024 in that district.
Exactly so. In that polling station, let's say not even.
Okay, so in that polling station.
So if you steal it, you cannot use it. That's it. And if on the day of election, if you steal it that day and you want to use it, you have to use it at a located polling station. Because you need the register with the QR code on the register. So if you take it and you want to take it to your room, you don't have the register because you need to have the hard copy of the register so that you can scan and get the data. So if you have the BVD without the register, it's of no use.
Right. But it is bad enough that we have some of these devices getting pilfered, stolen, and all of that. How did that happen?
Let me ask you. I don't know how long you have been here.
Are you talking about stolen gadgets? Yeah.
Yes, I'm saying so. Even in your office here.
But we have CCTV cameras and there are ways of.
But still, somebody would try to steal. Or you haven't explained any stolen story before.
They have been.
Yes. So see, and our suspicion, it is at the court. That's why I don't want to go to the. But our suspicion is that those people who did that are people within, not an outsider.
Right.
There are people
within the system.
Yes, and you know what? This is how the system is. We have a warehouse where all the items are. There are CCTVs there. Then when you are going to work on them, it's like you move it from here to another room. And you need to transport them from one vehicle because they are all in. I don't want to expose the location, but they are in different buildings. You need to convey and the police escort to another building. So standing here, some people are saying that you need to check the CCTV. Some of them have been there for about 3 years. So what it means that you need to review the CCTV up to the first time you sent them there. But we suspect that they are not issues that were done at the offices, but in the course of transiting the system from one location to another location. But all these things are before the security people, they are investigating. Some people have been paid. Some people have even been put before court. So let's wait.
How many people have been picked up so far?
So far, the last time I checked, I think there were 4.
I heard of 5 at a point, but these are staff of the electoral.
You know, a lot of some. But those are the 4 were those who were put before court.
Okay, but staff of the Electoral Commission?
Permanent and temporary.
Permanent and temporary. Right.
I'm not saying they agree to you, but these are the suspects.
Oh, of course. Not guilt hasn't been established
exactly.
yet. But usually, technically, just answer this for me. What are the protocols for disposing of such, gadgets, BVDs and BVRs? What are the standard protocols?
What we normally do is that,
and please let me add, not just disposal, also checking the account of what is here at any given time. How often are these checked?
We have our procurement inventory management session. They're in charge of all our stores. So everything that goes out, they will issue out and track. So that at any point in time, when you are supposed to bring them, even one is missing, they will know that we give you 100, but you have brought 99. That's why there was a time, I think there was another letter that reminding them that there were shortages of respect to what they brought, and they have to refund. So that is the storage aspect. Right now, as we are doing the registration, all the kits, they have serial numbers. When they are issued to the district, there's the district storekeepers, we call them supply officers, who will come from their regions to come and pick them. Okay. They sign a waybill, and everybody knows that these serial numbers of these machines are with this particular region.
All right.
So that's how they are sent out. Now, if you come to the disposal in terms of auctioning, is that what you're saying? Yes. So if you take the recent one, I brought all the documentation, you were not here, and I didn't know I brought them like
that's fine.
So the Director of Administration, he's in charge of storage and those things. He wrote that the regions, we have 16 regions, plus the headquarters, we have some obsolete materials, including vehicles.
Okay.
So they wrote to the commission that they need those items to be disposed of. Because if you don't use them, you create, what they call it, you occupy space. And these BVDs and BVR we are talking of are those which were used before 2020. In 2020, we acquired new BVDs and BVRs. Therefore, all those that were acquired before are classified as what? Obsolete. Right. If you take the one before the 2020, the current one is like a phone with an Android facility, right? The previous one does not take pictures. It only scans, it doesn't take pictures. But the current one can be used even for phone. If you put in your SIM card in it, you can use it.
Okay.
So immediately you acquire the new one, the old one cannot be used because the major difference between the previous one and the current one is the facial recognition.
Okay.
There were a lot of complaints about some fingerprint not being picked. So the new technology or new system introduced facial recognition. Okay. So what it does is that if you have 10 fingers, none of them is picked by the machine. When you are registering, you register with the 10 of them. The law is that if you have 6 fingers, you will be recognized with the machine. So that's why you should not take less than 6 fingers. Okay. So at least...
I'll come back on this digital bit. My sincere apologies. Let me bring back Nana Boakye Adam at the EC's regional office in Kumasi. Nana Boakye, over to you. What can you see from where you stand currently?
Well, Benjamin, we are currently at the Ashanti Regional EC office here in the Ashanti constituency. The exercise began at exactly 7 a.m. The process has been smooth so far. Police deployment has been on point. You can see that some policemen are here. Some of them are also stationed at my far left, monitoring the process to make sure that everything goes on smoothly. Some of the new applicants are also coming in to participate in the exercise. We have party agents who are also seated here. This regional office is going to house 4 constituencies: Bantama, Nhyia, Menhyia South and Menhyia North. And so party agents from these constituencies are supposed to observe the exercise for their various political parties. And so we'll be interacting with some of the people who are coming in to register for the very first time. You're participating in the exercise for the very first time. How has it been? Or have you been through it already?
No, I'm still in the queue. I'm just waiting for to be called.
You're waiting to be called. Which district or which constituency?
I'm from Menhyia South constituency.
Menhyia South constituency. You've not even been through the first phase?
No, please. I'm just waiting.
For how long have you been here?
For like 30 minutes.
30 minutes, yes. So far, why are you participating in this exercise, first off?
As a good citizen, I must vote, so I should engage myself in these activities.
So that means you are very much certain on participating in this upcoming election?
Most definitely. As a good citizen, I must vote.
Great. But you're a student?
Yes, please, I'm a student.
Okay. But you were given break to come and participate in the exercise?
Yes, please. As the Ghana Education Service has made a directorate, I think I saw it since yesterday, that all students should be allowed to, partake in this exercise. So I think we are cool to go.
Great. And so he's also a student. He was given the chance to come out of school to participate in this exercise today, and that is why he's participating here. He says that most definitely, he has to participate in the upcoming election. But let's get to some party agents who have been monitoring the exercise since 7 a.m. An agent for the National Democratic Congress. How has the process been since it started?
Good.
Have you encountered any challenges whatsoever?
Not yet. So maybe as the time goes on, maybe we'll see and maneuver what brings on board.
Okay, but then we can see that some of the new applicants are coming in. Are you okay with how they are being brought into, or you have challenges with that?
Yes, we have a lot of challenges. Looking at even their physique is one. Their physique, and some of them we know where they come from. And some of them are also not within our electoral. So we may place a lot of challenges on them.
But then with this challenge or claim that you're making right now, have you raised any concerns with the AEC?
No, not yet. But as and when they move to the table, we will place our challenge on them.
Okay. Thank you so much. You're an agent for the NDC, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. But your party is set on everything here in the Ashanti region to make sure that people come and register.
Yes. We are also basing a lot of people within most of the electoral. Menchia South has 6 electoral areas. So we've embarked on campaign to bring a lot of them on board, so that
you are basing a lot of people.
No, we see that it's a campaign. It's a campaign between the people, the leaders in the Menchia South constituency. So we are bringing a lot of people, those who are at the peak of registering. So we bring them on board so that they come and register.
How do you bring them here?
We tell them we've done campaign.
You have a means of transport to bring them here.
Yes, it's just a supporting means to bring them here.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll get back to you. And for the MPP, how has the process been? Have you encountered any challenge whatsoever?
No, we've not encountered any challenge so far. But as you said, the process started at 7 and things are moving on smoothly, as you can observe for yourself. For now, there is no challenges. The security men are here to also ensure security so that the registration goes on smoothly as we all want it to go.
Are you also putting in measures to transport people from various districts to come and participate in the exercise?
I wouldn't say transporting, but you see, actually, to say it was the job of the NCC to make sure the campaign or the information goes down well with them. But as usual, all the political parties, when it comes like this, the main thing is about elections, winning our elections. And as you can see, we also provide way that the people can have easy access to come and then register and go home. And most of the time, you see, these kids, I wouldn't say kids, they are now 18 years and above. Some of them, when you go them, you have to seek the consent of the parents before you go and then come and then register. So if that happens, it means we not. It happens that way. So let's see what the process goes.
All right, thank you so much. We are wishing you all the best as you bring your people to come and participate in the exercise. But then, Benjamin, this is the Ashanti Regional EC office. This is the atmosphere here. A number of students, new applicants are coming in to participate in the exercise. Security is tight. EC officials are set. Everything is going on smoothly. The process started at exactly 7 a.m. Since then, everything has been smooth. The police they've been here to brief the EC officials and then party agents on how they are going to make sure that this place is not disturbed. The process is not being disturbed. They are going to make sure that their men keep their eye on everything that goes on here in the regional office to make sure that the process goes on smoothly. And so we'll bring you up to speed details, but for now, the process started not long ago. We are expecting a number of people to come in to participate in the exercise. and so very soon we'll be having all of them coming, and then would give you a clear picture of how this place looks like. But then, as I said, the place will be housing 4 constituencies: Bantama, Nhyia, Menchia South and Menchia North. This is the Ashanti Regional EC office. Over to you, Benjamin.
Nabwache Adam, thank you very much for that update. And of course, that is from the EC's regional office in the Ashanti region, Kumasi to be specific. Let me come back to you quickly. I'll quickly go to the fingerprints bit, 10 fingers versus 6 fingers, so that we can address some of what came up there. The NDC representative spoke about the physique, as he called it, of some of those registering and challenges that they likely would make, and the fact that some of them are not even within the catchment of that electoral area. But let's start with the digital footprint that you were talking about, yes. 10 fingers versus...
Yes, I was saying that when you were saying we need at least 6 fingers, so that if it is 5, you can use one right hand to register. You go to another place to use the other 5 to register. That's why we want to, so that all the hands will have been captured. So that if you try to register, the system will catch up with you. Now, when you register you take your pictures. The main purpose of the new BVD is that previously, a lot of people, when they go, because of the nature of what they do, the system was finding it difficult to capture the fingerprints. That's why we introduced the new one that will do the facial recognition.
Right.
So when you go there, they will try the fingers. If they don't work, then a picture will be taken of you. When that was taken, the system itself will match the one that was captured. Which is
why that new system, it doesn't just take the fingerprints. Good. It can also take pictures.
Exactly.
And then reconcile your image with what is it.
Exactly. So when the system matches the two, then it will say that you are the person. So the new one comes in to avoid the issue of not being verified because you are fingerprinted.
So that issue, for example, I think it was at the district level elections where twins were voting and their fingerprints, they were facing problems and all of that. In election 2024, we will not have such problems.
Not at all.
Because then it will even be able to distinguish between identical twins.
Exactly.
And note the differences.
You see, when you look at me, the Okura view, you may think that we are the same. But when the machine is doing it, the machine has a way of... But the first to start with the fingerprint. And nature has done such a way that two people don't have the same fingerprint. So whether you are twins, whatever, the system will find you out.
All right. Let's talk about some of the challenges raised. The physique of some of these people registered. This always comes up. And then the fact that some of them are not within the electoral...
I'm happy he said that they will go through the challenge process. So like I started by saying, we don't use physical strength or to brawn to stop people from voting. But physique issue, I'm not there, and I wouldn't be able to judge how the physique is talking of are the same. But the most important thing is that they should be allowed to go through the process and they challenge them. When they appear before the committee, they will provide evidence to show whether they are qualified or not. So that's what I would say. Because at times, somebody may be 13 years. If you don't take care, you think the person is 18. And somebody to maybe 20 years. If you look at the person, you think the person is... So it's difficult at times to use physique only to draw conclusions.
How quickly, when you get these challenges, let's say at the conclusion of this process on the 27th, how quickly can you go through the challenges, do your verification, whittle away those who are not meant to be there and retain those who...
The process is that once you are challenged, you go through the registration, but your card will not be given to you.
Right.
It's only when you have gone through the adjudication process. So as we have started, I believe after the 1 week, the committee will start sitting.
1 week after?
Yeah, no, we are using 21 days.
Right.
So 7 days after we started registration, they will start the sitting. So while the registration is going on...
Oh, okay, that's what I wanted to clarify. So if someone gets challenged today, even while the process is going on, within 1 week, you should resolve it and then give the person's card or maintain that the person can't register.
That's right.
Let's quickly cross over to Sowutuom. My colleague Sweetie Abochi is standing by to share with us what is happening there.
We are on grounds at the Anya Sotum constituency, specifically in the heart of the Sotum township, for the limited voter registration, which is expected to onboard over 600,000 new registered voters onto the already existing database of the Electoral Commission. Now here, although the district electoral officer, Nanesi Yabua Dazi, says that they've not been cleared to speak to us on record, we've gathered that the exercise or the process started around 7 a.m. and they have not yet finished with one participant to leave because of something they call technical hitches. From what we gather so far, it appears there's some portal that needs to be connected from the head office that has not yet been greenlit. And for that reason, they're waiting for that to be done before they can actually start laminating the cards or capturing the biometric details of the participants. But from my observation here, there are lots of first-time registered voters here, very young people, and the issue of busing people to this place from the various political parties have come up. We've observed some 10 or 15 people pulled in from a truck to come and register. And when we spoke to the agents from the various political parties, one of them mentioned that the Electoral Commission had not done enough sensitization work. And so they took it upon themselves to go out and mobilize these young people for them to partake in this national important exercise. I'll be joined shortly by one of the agents for the National Democratic Congress, Gafaru. Yes. Gafaru, you were telling me earlier that the reason you are mobilizing people to come and register and partake in this exercise is because the EC had not sensitized the people enough. Can you shed more light on that?
Yes, good morning to your channel viewers. I said that earlier because we have realized through our work in our communities that there are some of these young ones who are not even aware that today being 7th of May, there's anything called registration or limited registration. So we took it upon ourselves to get them engaged at their various community centers from house to house to educate them and let them know or create the awareness that indeed the EC is starting to register for the young ones who are 18 and 19 years. So some of them do not even know what it takes or the person needs to even come to the center to get registered. So what we are saying is, as far as we are concerned, the EC as well as the NCCA, National Commission for Civic Education, have actually failed Ghanaians in totality because the sensitization is very low. What they need to do to increase the awareness of this exercise is not being done.
Right. Are you compensating these people you're mobilizing in any way? Are you giving them money or any kind of incentive to come and register?
Oh, actually, all we are doing is to help them to the centers, but then we are not compensating them in any form of money or whatever. That is not something we can do. It is beyond our ability. So we are not giving anybody anything. All we are doing is to get them abreast with the information and also help them to the centers to get registered.
Thank you, Kafaru. I'll be joined shortly by an agent also from the New Patriotic Party. But from what I gather so far, these young registered voters who are now coming to get registered have to produce some sort of national identification card, either the Ghana card, national health insurance, and in the absence of one, they have to produce 2 guarantors. Now, although the polling officers are not speaking to us directly on camera, from what I gather from right behind me here, I'm told that if you bring these 2 guarantors can guarantee for at least 10 people. So there are 10 people who do not have any sort of national identification. They can get 2 people, either from the party or whoever brought them, to sort of authenticate their national identity so that they can continue with the process. In a bit, I'll be joined by the representative from the New Patriotic Party. Please join me. Thank you for speaking to us. What's the name?
My name is Albert.
Albert, I've seen that agents from the various political parties, mainly the NDC and the MPP, are pulling people in to come and partake in this exercise. Is this constitutional? Are you compensating these young ones in any way? And who's paying for the transportation?
All right, thanks for that. I can't speak on behalf of our opponent, that is the NDC. But regards to the MPP, we have our own arrangements and structures that we have put in place long ago. I cannot say much about busing people to
Well, we saw that some people just were brought in a pickup to just come and register.
That pickup hasn't got anything to do with MPP or whatever, what have you. So I can't say that is an MPP thing. But we have a motivation, you know, motivation that helps us to go. That has to do with our performance in government. Looking at our performance in government and what we have done in this constituency in the past 7 years, it is a motivation for young ones, especially those 18 years, to register and say thank you to Nana Addo Dankwa.
Are you saying that the young ones are coming by themselves without any sort of assistance from the New Patriotic Party?
That is absolutely right. We are not engaged in busing them to the constituency. We have.
You don't necessarily have to call it busing, just assisting them, like the NDC agent said, assisting them to get here.
The only assistance we can give to them is to give them direction to the place. Apart from that, we have our own motivation, and that is the performance in government, looking at this free SHS, looking at our performance in this constituency, looking at what we have done, the development that we have brought into the...
Thank you so much. This is about the limited voter registration exercise, so let's keep it at that. Well, there you have it. We'll be here monitoring and we'll bring you updates as to when the final parts of the process starts, that is the capturing of the biometric details and then the examination, when this technical hitch they're talking about is resolved. But for now, everything seems smooth and ongoing. There are presence of security officials who are ensuring that there's peace here and there's no chaos here yet. So from Anya Soto, my name is Sweetie Abochi for Joy News. Over to you.
My colleague Sweetie Abochi there, thank you very much for connecting, bringing us the scoop into Otuum. So quick issues, Dr. Siribo, I want us to address in about 5 minutes before we wrap this conversation. Technical hitches there, lamination and all of that, so people are not getting their cards. When this happens, how do you address it?
I don't know the hitch he's talking about, because all the district offices have been linked to the system. But where I am looking at now, I don't think they are within the office. So if they want to use office, we are also using TableNet from the, I don't want to mention the...
So the telco?
Yes, telco. So I don't know whether they are using the TableNet outside the district office. In that case, that could be...
But what is the directive that you gave them in terms of the internet provider and the directions, what they have to do?
Because we are depending on the number of kits they are using.
Right.
We are expecting that the maximum at this office is 3 and the minimum is 2.
Right.
They are all linked to the system. But if the place becomes congested, they may decide, okay, let's move 1 or 2 to this place and use the TableNet. So I don't know, unless I finish and I'll call and I'll get the story. But whatever the challenge is, it will be addressed.
I've got some messages where people are saying that, listen, there was not enough. And I heard the NDC, one of them re-echo it, so I want to put it to you, that there was not enough sensitization of those 18-year-olds. I've seen a few things, a few. Okay, I don't get to.
Few is relative.
I've seen a few
relative
where I listened to one on radio, and I think once as well or twice on television.
Your station.
How much has been done to sensitize those turning 18-year-olds to go and get registered?
I believe your station is running some advert. So if it's few, then you are also not being fair to us, because we have given you advert to.
I am only telling you what I, as an individual,
but
I'm constantly on the move.
Yes, so that's it. You are working with this institution, and I believe you have been hired to help us to do that. So automatically, for every exercise, at the initial stage, you may encounter 1 or 2 groups. That's why it's 21 days. So whatever the challenges are, I believe that they should be rectified within the next 3 days so that you can have smooth sailing.
This is you busing people to get registered and all of that. When we went to Kumasi, I think one of them mentioned it. Here in Soweto too, it's been mentioned. Is it technically wrong? What are the protocols?
You see, there's no law about busing. There's no law. Me sitting here, my judgment would be that if the people are qualified, and now that we are doing at the district offices, I'm a political party, I'm supposed to help my community to come to the center. If the people are 18 years and they are Ghanaians, to me, I don't have any issue. It's only when they are busing and the age people that becomes a problem. Because facilitating somebody movement to the center to go and register, I don't think that should be any issue. But the people should be qualified people.
Right. Do this for me in 1 minute. I'm just going to end on this. We saw what happened in Ejiso. I know you gave a response then and all of that. Those election officers involved, what mechanisms are you putting in place to forestall that happening in election 2024? And what more can we expect in respect of those officers?
If you look at Ejiso, we had 204 centers. there's only one activity that happened at one place, and people are talking
It's
about
only one that we captured.
Oh, so that's what we know.
Only one.
The name of the game is evidence.
Whatever may have happened,
No, you don't have evidence that something happened.
It is one that we
I agree, but you don't have evidence that something happened.
Wow.
So whatever it is, we have the system in place that when you go to the center, don't accept any form of support from anybody because you may not know who is giving you that and the motive behind it. That is.
But are you going to change your formula where it's a package that what you give them includes food and everything in there? Because obviously now food is being being used as bait.
Okay,
are you going to change your...
Let me ask you. I used to saying that if they were giving food, somebody cannot give them something.
Well,
this is the point. So the issue is not being...
But at least maybe it would prevent it to a certain extent.
If giving them food or not will not stop somebody trying to give them something or somebody trying to receive something. The most important thing is that our instruction to them is that they should not accept any form of gift in the line of action.
All right. Dr. Sribo Kweku, thank you so much for doing us the honors this morning. We greatly appreciate your time. Dr. Sribo Kweku is Director of Electoral Services with the Electoral Commission, and he joined us. We also went to the Ashanti region, the Regional Registration Center or Regional Office of the EC in Kumasi, and we also took you to Sowutuom. We'll be right back with more action right here on the AM show. Do stay.